How's it going out there, everyone? My LLs, my Lubari listeners, my fellow real estate enthusiasts, and fellow real estate investors. Welcome back to another episode of the Lubari Real Estate Podcast, where we educate, inspire, and empower you to build wealth through apartment investing. I'm your host, Jason Lubari Olds, and today I'm going to be pulling back the curtain a little bit to share something personal. I live in an apartment. Yes, you heard that right. I'm a real estate investor who chooses to live in a multifamily apartment. And today I want to tell you why that decision isn't just intentional, it's also strategic. And more importantly, I want to explain how it actually makes me a better investor for the people I serve, and also for the communities that I invest in and the partners that I work with. So grab your coffee or your notepad or your gym shoes or whatever you're doing today, because this episode is going to give you a whole new way to think about how you live and how it affects how you invest. So let's start this off by talking about the decision to rent on purpose. Let me start here because I know what some people are thinking. Wait, you're in real estate and you rent? Yes, and proudly so. I didn't end up in an apartment because I had no other option. I chose it. I prioritize my flexibility over ownership, and I also value mobility over maintenance. And more than anything, I recognize that living like my residents would make me sharper and also a more empathetic investor. You see, so many investors operate from spreadsheets and projections. They look at their tenants like numbers on a rent roll. But when you actually live in a community, when you experience the things that your residents experience, from parking availability to trash pickup, from noise levels to amenities, you begin to understand how much the details matter. And that insight, it's invaluable. All right, so you always want to walk in your tenants and your residents' shoes. Let me give you a real world example. So there's this one community that I lived in, and I noticed the gym was always closed during the hours that I wanted to work out. So I'm a early morning gymmer. So I like early morning workouts, and if I can't do that, I prefer to, work out at late nights. And if it's closed, I get frustrated. And it was frustrating. And I thought to myself, if I were a tenant here and fitness was important to me, which it is, I may not renew my lease. So now when I invest in properties and work with our property management partners, guess what? We talk about the gym hours, if there is a gym available. We talk about how we can implement key fob access. 1 second, buddy. I'm recording, okay?
Is this a gym mouse?
No, that's not a gym mouse. That's a computer mouse.
A computer mouse.
Yes. And we talk about how to operate or how to differentiate ourselves by serving real lifestyles. Because at the end of the day, since I'm living in an apartment, I am the target demographic. I'm not making assumptions from a distance. I'm living the same experience and using it as data to improve our business. Another example, and this is actually one that I'm currently dealing with, I've dealt with slow maintenance response times. So if you guys recall the last episode or 2 episodes ago, I spoke about that tenant who hasn't had their AC working for 3 months. Well, guess who that tenant is? that tenant is me. My AC has been out for 3 months so far. And I haven't got my AC fixed. My AC needs a new compressor, and it's the middle of summer. And yeah, it sucks. I had to go on Amazon and purchase a window unit for myself because inside it gets to 91, 92 degrees. And currently I have my son with me, so we got to do something about that. And I know if I feel that way, so do other tenants. So what do? We prioritize maintenance response. We invest in technology and communication tools. Why? Because the pain is personal. And when the pain is personal, solutions become urgent. All right, also, let's talk about how mobility can equal opportunity. So for me, living in an apartment gives me the freedom to move where the opportunities are. Also, because I'm active duty military, I move around quite a bit, like every 3 to 5 years. And, sometimes you just don't want to stay on base. And also, that gives you a lot of opportunity to move where more opportunities are. So like if a market is heating up and I have the opportunity to get stationed there, or if we're dealing with a city nearby, or if I need to build deeper broker relationships on the ground, I can be there. Pretty much no strings other than my contract obligations. No mortgage holding me hostage. No yard work to maintain, and no roof to repair. I get to go where the deals are. I get to go where the people are. And I get to build relationships fast because I'm already there. I'm integrated in the community, living the same lifestyle as my potential residents. And as an investor, that's an edge. And as an operator, that's a weapon. And here's how I understand the value from the inside, the way I see it. So, living in an apartment has also made me more attuned to what residents value most. For example, do people really care about granite countertops? Honestly, sometimes. But what they really care about is how secure they feel at night, how fast maintenance shows up, if their packages get stolen or not, if the staff is friendly, and if the pool is ever clean and open. It's easy to overemphasize renovations and underemphasize experience. But when I live in it, I don't have to guess. So when we're building our business plan for a property, when we're raising capital, planning upgrades, talking to investors, I can bring a resident's lens to the table. And that keeps us grounded, it keeps us real, and it keeps us focused on ROI and quality of life. So with that being said, here's what I've learned so you won't have to. If you're listening and you're a new or aspiring multifamily investor, let me just be real and share this with you. You don't have to live in an apartment to be successful. But if you never live like your tenants, you might always be disconnected from what matters most. This is about proximity to the product. It's about immersing yourself in the business. And it's about building empathy so that you can build a better business. And I've learned that you can study markets all day, but you feel them differently when you live there. You can underwrite units and communities all day, but you understand them better when you live inside a unit. You can plan amenities all day, but you value them more once you've used them yourself. And honestly, living in an apartment has made me more grounded, thoughtful, and a community-centered investor. And in a business that deals with people's homes, that mindset makes all the difference. All right? So, like, at Lubari Real Estate, we're not just investing in buildings, we're investing in people's lives. And when you're doing that, you need to know the lives you're affecting. Living in an apartment reminds me that every rent check comes from someone who wants to feel safe, someone who wants to feel respected, and someone who wants to feel valued. Give me 1 second, everyone. Go to the bathroom, okay? Go ahead. Sorry, I also gotta be a dad. And it keeps me humble. It keeps me accountable, and it keeps me learning. So, whether you own your home, rent your space, or live on a road, think about how your lifestyle reflects your values as an investor. Are you staying close to the product or the property? Are you staying connected to the people? And if not, maybe it's time to step into their shoes. You might be surprised how much you grow because of it. And now we move on to my favorite part of the podcast, where we talk about what real estate can do for you. And these past couple weeks, I've been on the go. It's been pretty busy. So I had the opportunity to help my cousin move to Dallas. And you guys know I love Dallas. Of course, I'm going to help one of my favorite cousins move to one of my favorite places. It was a fun time. We had a great trip, made lots of memories. And then from Dallas, I flew to Puerto Rico, La Isla de Encanto, ya tú sabes, mi gente. And I had to go pick up my little boy. And now he's here back with me in Maryland. And we're just having a ball, getting to spend some good old father-son time. You want to say hi, Jay?
Mm-hmm.
Say hi.
Why?
There he is. So, I just been having a ball, seeing family, spending time with my son, and it's been great. It's had its ups and downs, just like elevators and squats. But
It's like you.
I wouldn't have it any other way. Well, all right, y'all. That's it for today's episode. I appreciate you tuning in and letting me share a more personal part of this journey with you. If this episode made you think differently or gave you a fresh perspective, do me a favor. Subscribe, leave a review, hit the like button, and share it with someone else in the multifamily community. And as always, if you're ready to partner, learn, or level up in this business, give me a shout out at lubari.com or connect with me on social media. Until next time, stay focused, stay hungry, and live the business you want to grow. It's been a pleasure. This is Jason Olds with Lubari Real Estate signing off. I love you all, and be blessed.